If you don't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? RuPaul. Fellow Toastmasters, and I don't believe we have any guests here tonight. If you are not feeling very effervescent about your chances for finding a Valentine this weekend, anybody to love you, might I recommend loving yourself. Now, I know this is very difficult to do. Our brains are hardwired to solve problems and sometimes fix them, but not all the time. And because we live with ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it is so easy to slip into negative self-talk. In fact, how many of you here within the last week have said something not so nice to yourself? Yeah, same. In fact, I'm not as prepared for this speech as I would usually like to be, but I know I'm in a supportive environment. I have also learned over time a lot of different tips and tricks to negate that negativity, and those are what I would like to share with you tonight. There are 3 that I have learned through psychology and specifically acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, hence the title of my speech, An Act of Self-Love. Those 3 things are diffusion, loving kindness meditation, and gratitude. I'll first start with diffusion. This is one of my favorite concepts from ACT, and basically the tenet is that words don't mean anything. Now, this is great news for most people, but horrible for us as speakers to realize that anything that I'm saying right now shouldn't actually make any sense. But if you think about it, English, Spanish, even my very dearest French, they're all pretty much just combinations of the exact same letters arranged in a different order. And the only thing that gives them meaning is their cultural context. So the hard part about that is because they're so culturally ingrained, there's very much an emotional attachment that we have to one word feeling negative, one word feeling positive, one word maybe not having an association. And I'm intimately familiar with this. So the goal of diffusion is to take that emotion out, and we do that through play. One of the favorite ways that I've accomplished this was when I was playing disc golf in a big tournament with a lot of people, and I had a few other people on my card, and we all get up with our frisbees and we throw it towards the basket, and it was my turn to do so. So I grab my disc, I walk up to the tee pad, I go to throw, and completely offline, very wrong direction. I was yanking things left and right, hitting trees, missing putts, you name it. It was awful, and I felt horrible. And I was saying all of these negative things to myself, including what a loser I was and how bad I was at disc golf. But I remembered in the back of my head this concept of ACT and playing with words. And so I decided, instead of saying I'm a loser, I'm going to sing Beck's I'm a Loser. So there I was in my head just going, I'm a loser, baby, just over and over again. Did it make my golf game any better? No. But I wasn't as attached to that feeling of negativity, and I was a much better card mate, I was in a much better mood, and I enjoyed my time on the course way more. Maybe singing isn't your thing. Maybe instead you like just speaking. Or if you sing, it's in the shower where nobody else can hear you, and that's fine too. But there are so many ways to play with language. You could speak really, really quickly so that you just repeat the word over and over and over again and it doesn't make any sense anymore. You could speak really slowly or really quietly. Or you could shout it from the rooftops that I'm a loser. Or you could go the movie route, a la Ace Ventura, la who, the her. So all of these different things, it's kind of like any tongue twister where you say toy boat 10 times in a row and it turns into toy boy and you have no idea what you're saying anymore. Those will take that negativity out and put you in a much more neutral space to process whatever it is you're going through. And we could all use that little bit of extra kindness in our words. In fact, thought leader and author Jon Acuff said, if I talk to my wife the way I talk to myself, we'd be divorced. Now, there's another way around that too, which also comes from acceptance and commitment therapy, which is the second component, loving kindness meditation. Now, this isn't some like frou-frou thing where you're just oming, but it does require a little bit of mindfulness. So if you take in mind your favorite person in the whole wide world that you just love so dearly and think about a very specific time where you just had all of that love and warmth and compassion for something that they did for you, and you hold that feeling. And then you move to somebody who you kind of like, your friends, sure, no problem. And you take that feeling that you had with your best friend and you just gently move it over to that neutral person and you give them all of that love and acceptance. And then ever so quietly, so as not to scare it off, you take that nice warm feeling and you move it inward towards yourself. This can be very, very difficult to do because we're our own worst critic and we feel like we don't deserve the same things as our friends and family do. But you absolutely do. And you have absolutely earned it, which leads me to my third component, gratitude. Now, a lot of you in this room have probably heard of the benefits of gratitude and how great it is to keep a journal by your nightstand and every night you write down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. But positive psychology says take it one more step and then write down what you did to contribute to that. So if there was a beautiful sunset and you were grateful for that, it's because you took the time to stop and notice it and be present in that moment. Or if a friend brought you coffee and you thought that was the most amazing thing, it's because you were a good enough friend to them that they were thinking of you and wanted to do something nice. So as we move into Valentine's Day and the thought of loving, I hope that you take a moment to create an act of self-love. Thank you.